Give me just a minute. I'll sign the citation. Just tell me what you just told me.
So you're not in a space. Okay, and you know that.
Free speech cannot be put in an allotted space. Port of San Diego does not care about free speech. They're violating First Amendment rights right now. Free speech cannot be put in an allotted space. Otherwise, you would have cited me when I was protesting you the other day.
Sir.
That's what I thought.
You were in a space yesterday, so you weren't going to get...
Really? When I was following you with the sign, I was in a space?
You can follow, you can record us all you want. It's not a violation.
So neither is this. Port of San Diego thinks that free speech can be allotted to tiny spaces. Free speech does not allowed in tiny spaces. The freedom of speech is First Amendment rights allowed throughout the entire United States. Port of San Diego gives arbitrary tickets to people expressing their First Amendment rights. These port police here are giving tickets for First Amendment expressions. Port of San Diego does not care about your First Amendment rights. They will ticket you for expressing them outside of a First Amendment zone. Can you believe they have First Amendment zones in America? Port of San Diego violates First Amendment rights. They expect you to sit in a free speech zone. By the way, if you guys would enforce the rule about the spray paint zone that the port created, I wouldn't be outside of an allotted space. Not that it matters, because allotted spaces are unconstitutional and illegal. Port of San Diego thinks free speech can be contained to a free speech zone. They do not want you expressing your First Amendment rights outside of these green free speech zones. They will ticket you with $200,000, $500,000, $1,000 tickets for being outside of a green space for your First Amendment rights. Port of San Diego does not care about First Amendment rights. These police officers violate their First Amendment oath of office to protect the First Amendment. Port of San Diego does not care about your First Amendment rights. They will step all over them to follow some arbitrary law that does not have the ability to regulate First Amendment rights. Congress shall pass no law to regulate First Amendment rights. Port of San Diego does not have the authority to regulate First Amendment rights. So earlier today, I was set up here, and while I was painting, San Diego Harbor Police, traffic ticket police, snuck up on me and started telling me that I couldn't be here because I'm not in an allotted space. I said that I'm here protesting the port's rules against First Amendment rights. And they said, well, your expressive activities have to be in an allotted space. And I said, well, why didn't you ticket me yesterday for protesting outside of the allotted space? And they said, well, you know, protesting, you have a legal right to protest. You have a legal right to film us and follow us while you're filming us and protesting us. But you don't have a legal right to express yourself outside of an expressive activity space. I don't know how that makes sense to their police minds. I don't know why they think Port Code can regulate one form of free speech without regulating all forms of free speech in the same way. But that is what the Harbor Police were basically saying. As a matter of fact, that is word for word what they were saying. And yesterday they were saying if just a normal random citizen like any of these folks walking by happened to be standing by my stuff while I was disposed somewhere else, and they wanted to be nice and get me a sale while I was gone, that citizen, just for being a decent human being, could be given one of these $250 citations like what I got today.